Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of the Texavi Summer Tech Bootcamp. Last session, we covered the basics of the microbit, how it works, what it is, who created it, all of the theory side. Now we're going to move on to some practical. So we're going to go over to the MakeCode and actually code the microbit ourselves. So first of all, you just need to go on and search up makecode.microbit.org, like so, and you'll come onto the screen right here. Click on New Project. We're going to call ours Blow Away. You can probably guess what it's about, but let's see. And then if you can take a tour of the editor, but I'll give you a quick one here. So on the left side here, we've got a very big picture of the microbit. So this is very useful if you don't already have a microbit with you. You can just see what code you do on the right side and how that will affect what the microbit will look like. It's literally just a virtual replica of the actual little microbit that we've got here. And then over here, we've got all of our sections of code that we covered last time: basic, input, music, LED, all of that. And then over here, you've got undo, redo. You can zoom out, zoom in. And then over here, down at the bottom left, you've got the download for the code. So once you finish coding, click on the download and then it will download straight onto the microbit that you've hopefully connected to your laptop. So we're going to start coding now, but first I'm going to connect the microbit to my laptop. I'll show you what it looks like at the very end, what it looks like on the microbit. But for now, just keep an eye on the left side as well as the right side and see how that affects each other. So let's plug it in. All right, so microbit is connected to the laptop, and then yeah, okay, now we can start our coding. So first thing we need to do for this program is we're going to start with the on start. So it already shows, as soon as you open up MakeCode, it already shows on start and forever code blocks. These two are the most important ones that we actually need. So I'm going to move forever to the side for a little while. Begin with the on start. So over to the basic, and we're going to go over to the show icon. You can obviously replace this with the show LEDs, and you can create your own design. But I do want to use a pre-made one here. Let's see, there's tons of different designs that you can do. I think I'm going to go with I'll go with the ghost for this one. So we've got on start, show icon, ghost. Can be whatever icon that you want it to do. And as you can see, now that we've put that in on the left side, we can see the ghost icon appearing. Next thing we're going to do is move on to the forever side. So that's it for this side. Now we're going to move on to the forever side. So the handy thing about MakeCode as well is that similar to Scratch, you can run two separate blocks of code at the same time. It's called parallel coding, and it is very useful to do where you can bring in separate ideas and make them next to each other, and that will run just fine on its own. So now we've got the forever. Going to go over to the loop. and the repeat 4 times do loop. So this means that whatever we're going to put in here will repeat 4 times. And then we're going to go over to logic. This is the conditionals. If true, then over here. And we're going to replace if true with the sound level. So in case it wasn't that very clear by the name of the program, it's called blow away. So we're going to blow away the icon from the screen of the microbit. And for this, we need to monitor the sound levels because the microbit has a sound sensor. So we're going to go over to input and go over to sound level at the bottom here. And we'll put that next to here. Oh, over to the bin. So every time that you don't want something, you can move over to the left side over here to the bin. In this case, we need something else before we put in the true, and that is the comparison. So we need this one over here. I'm going to move this code a little bit so that we can see. So this is a comparison operator. We need, now we can go back to the input and go to sound level over here. So if sound level, and we need greater than. And over here, we'll put 1 to 8. So if the sound level is greater than 128, so if the sensors on the microbit over here detect that the sound level is above 128, let's see what's going to happen. So now we're going to go over to the variables again, and we're going to need to make 2 variables. First of all, we need col. So this is just short for column, and that is the vertical lines of the microbit. Okay, and then we need to make another one called row, and this is for the horizontal lines. Now that we've got these two, we're going to need the set row and also the set column. So another one I'm going to put underneath, and then you can click on this drop-down menu over to col. So set row and set col. And then we'll go over to the math and pick random over here. And then the same again, pick random over here. And we're going to set that to 0 to 4 and same again. So that was a lot all at once. So let's break it down. So the conditional block, if the sound level is greater than 128, then we're going to set the row, so the horizontal LED lights, to a random number between 0 and 4. And then we're going to set the column, so the vertical LED lights, to a random number between 0 and 4 as well. So the effect that this has is that when you blow on the microbit, the LED lights will change to a random number between 0 and 4 for both the horizontal and vertical columns and rows. It might seem a little bit confusing for now, but when we see it in action, it will be much clearer. I'm going to need another if block here. Go back to the logic. Now the if block, and we're going to put that underneath the other if block. So this whole thing will repeat 4 times. Now we're going to go over to the LEDs, and the difference between this LED and the one that we used in BASIC is that you get to do some more advanced plotting. using the LED section of code. So we've got the if, and now we need the point X and Y over here. So if point X and Y, and we're going to change those in a little while. We're going to change them to back to the variables, row and column. So column would be X, and then variables back to row is Y. So variables, sorry, if point X is column, point Y row, then now we're going to see what's happening if those are lined up. Going to need to use the unplot X and Y and the plot. Unplot and plot. So, and then back to the variables, we're going to change all of the X's, X values from 0 to column, all the Y values from 0 to row. That there. Like so. So the purpose of this part of the program is a way for us to turn on and off the LEDs in accordance with when we blow on the microbit. So if we unplot, that means we're just taking it off, turning the LEDs off, and then plotting again, that means turning them on. But when it comes to plotting it, we're going to add another part to the column. So over here, we're going to add, so where is it? Variables, column. So plot X, column, where is it gone? Column plus 1. Just make this a little bit tidier. No, we don't need this anymore. So the column, if point X on the column and the Y the row, then we're going to unplot the column as well as the row LEDs, but we're going to plot the column plus 1, but the row we're going to leave as it is. So let's see how this works. Now that that's all the coding that's needed for this one. It's a pretty basic one, but then it allows us to see how the sensors and the microbit actually work. So now we're going to go over to the downloads, connect device. And for this part, make sure that your microbit is connected to your computer. Go over to next. And then we're going to use Bluetooth to pair. And then we're going to click on this to ensure that it is our microbit that is connected to the laptop. And it's all connected. So now we're done. And the microbit has formed a connection to the laptop. Next thing we need to do is to download the code onto the microbit. And it's all downloaded. So now we can see what it is like. Just to show you this, I'm going to stop sharing for a little while. There we go, back to me. And just so I can show you up close what the program is and how amazing it looks, I'm going to disconnect the microbit to my computer and then use a battery pack so I can make it portable. The great thing about the microbit is that even when it's not connected to the computer, it still maintains the code that you have just put in. So I'm going to click the reset button here. There we go. A little bit tough to see, but put it back a little bit. You can kind of see the ghost there. Yep. And then now all we need to do is blow on it. And it's all gone. Look how cool that is. All gone now. Let's try it again. Can see the ghost. And all gone to the other side. That is very cool. One of my favorite things to do with the MicroBit is playing with all of the sensors, like the sound and the motion sensors and everything like that. So yeah, definitely have a go at this one. You can pick whatever icon that you want. Oh, and have fun with it. And then every time you just want to go back to how it should look, just press the reset button and you're back to a ghost. So I'm going to put that to the side for now. I hope you enjoyed this very small little bit of code that's just designed to get you into the microbit and understand how it works, as well as how the coding works. Next time, we're going to move on to something a little bit more complicated, involving and do some games with it as well, hopefully, which makes use of the A and B input buttons as well. That'll be very cool. But yeah, now I'm going to hand over to one of the participants who would like to show you some of the code that he's done on his microbit as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Save. I'm one of the participants of the program, and I'd like to show you some of my creations that I've made on the microbit. Let me just share my screen. So I'm just going to plug my microbit into the computer so that I can load the program on like we were taught. Okay, the program is on. So now I need to plug in the battery pack on my microbit. So for this, I have to press the button B and it will play a song. Let's see if you can guess what song this plays. This is a microbit version of of a nursery rhyme, or whatever you like to call it. Mary had a little lamb. It's actually quite good quality for a microbit. Let me just play it again one more time. I also have another program that I want to show you. This is my LED program. You will see some, let me stop sharing. So that you can see properly. Sorry, I need to plug it in again. go to download the program again. I'll plug it in. Now it's here. If I press A, it will start showing a program. It's a bit hard to see. Let me start it again. It says, I'm Savir. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you properly, but I can share my screen to show you how it's supposed to look like. So I'm sharing my screen on the digital MicroBit. It will now show what it's supposed to look like. I hope you like my programs. Thank you for listening and happy coding.